What's up guys, this is PhotoEdin or PhotoTK, and this is going to be the second episode for the Maya series of tutorials. We're going to look at the basics to modelling. So first of all, I'm just going to show you two scenes that I've created since using Maya, so past 4 or 5 weeks. Right, so this is actually my uni work. I've got to create a furniture piece, so I decided to do the corner of a kind of office room. So I've got, actually if I make this a bit more easier to see, turn on like the wireframe effect. Don't worry about all these extra lines and all, it looks quite messy, but that's what I need to do for it to be able to go into a game engine, because the polygons have to be 4 or 3 sided. So if I have any 5-sided plus, it'll start messing up. So basically what I had to do is I had to just basically create these lines to triangulate the polygons, so it will work. So that's why it's looking a bit messy. I mean, if I wanted it just as a model for film, I wouldn't have to do so. It can be nice and clean. So it depends really what you're doing, but it's a good tool to learn. So yeah, as you can see here, there's quite a few poly count in there, and I'm going to sort of run through how important that is. So anyway, let's go to the other one. So this one was like a furniture piece that I had to make, and this one had to be a steampunk prop. So what I had to do is I had to sort of concept sort of an idea. If I could just quickly show you. Oops. So yeah, I got the front, back views, I got the perspective view, and I got a side view as well. So I decided to make a steam-powered rifle, a sniper rifle with sort of like the backpack. That's where the power's coming from. It's all mechanical and all that kind of crap. So that's what I've got so far. I still got to texture these, but that's another lecture in a little bit. So I'm just going to sort of run through and show you how you can kind of make these shapes. So let's start a new project. Now the thing with Maya is you create a new project and it actually creates a whole new Maya window. So I just have to close these ones down. And in many ways you can take what you've got, what you've learnt from Cinema 4D and take it over, which is quite nice because obviously you're a little bit ahead then. So I mentioned in the last tutorial the UI. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch that, as it might be useful. We can select our cubes, and first of all I'm just going to make something without worrying about the polygons. So if I want to make, say, a chair, let's see what we can do here. Right, I would first of all, I'll show you several ways you can do it. You can come up to the modeling toolkit at the top here, select the face tool. You can either click that and extrude it up, you click extrude. Oops. Go to the size tool, scale that down, click extrude, and then bring that up. And all you have to do is worry about these sides, which is not a good way of doing it. The way I'd do it is you grab the multi-cut tool. Whoops. You go to, which one is it? Mesh Tools, Multi-Cut. And what you do is you hold Shift and hover over one of these lines. It's got a black dot, and that sort of represents halfway. So you click once, hold Shift, click down here, and every time you use the Multi-Cut tool and you've got your line, you have to click Enter to confirm it. So by doing this, I can sort of map out where I want my chair legs. So I'll do that again, do it again. And these are quite big legs for chairs, but this is just a method of doing it. So there we go, click Enter. And now I can just get the face tool, select the ones I don't want. So basically I want to leave all the 4 corners. I've done that wrong, sorry. You grab each 4 corner, and then you can just extrude. Boom, then you've got sort of a chair. And then obviously you can delete these. You can just grab the line tool, click drag down here, and just hover over all the lines you don't need. Obviously we don't want the outside lines because that is part of our mesh. And don't click delete, instead come up to edit mesh and then go delete edge vertex, or control and delete. And what I do is actually I add all these shortcuts up here. So if you use one of these tools often, if I do it now, just hold Control Shift and then click on the one you want, and then it appears up here. I've already got it, but that's very useful because then it's, you just click that button and it does it. And the reason for that is that's the correct way to delete edges and vertexes. Otherwise, they still remain there. So yeah, then what we can do is what else can we do? Let's have a look. Let's go to the multi-cut tool again. We can just half that. So that's going to be the basis of our chair. We'll come half and half again. Obviously, this is a very basic chair. And then I'll grab these lines and then I'll delete them. Might actually, yeah, thought so. Okay, won't worry about that just yet. Grab all the faces. Sorry, all the faces of this one. And actually, no, I won't go do that. I'm gonna, because it will require a bit of cleanup. I'm just gonna work my way round the model with this halfway tool. And I'll show you the reason why for in a minute. That one to that one. That one to that one. And then we'll have to do this side. Because when you extrude things, like if I show you now, if I click that and extrude it, and I try to come back here, it leaves this. And that's horrible. So we don't want to start dealing with all that kind of stuff. So what I've done is I've just mapped around all what I wanted. And then, now having that, I've missed a bit. There we go. Now I can just grab the face tool. I've missed another bit. Brilliant. There we go. Sorry, now that's good. We can grab the face tool and grab the face tool. Select all the polygons we don't want. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm just about to show you another tool that you can use. So you can do that and you can hit delete. And then we're left with these openings. We're like, oh no, we don't want that. We want to close those up. So nice and simple. We can actually now, if I show you how to do it, you come to the mesh tools, append to polygon. So if you write these down, these might be helpful. You click on one side and these purple lines appear. And if you click on the other, it bridges the gap. And then again, to confirm it, you have to click enter. And the reason it's only done half it is because we have these lines here. So to make things a lot quicker for yourself, you can grab the line tool. Now we've got our shape, we can start deleting. Alright, let's try see what ones we can delete. Okay, we can delete the bottom two. We can probably delete this one. Yeah, so let's delete these around here. Delete the one at the back. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's just these ones that are a bit of a problem, but that's fine. There's no sort of vertex that's going to interfere with our polygon appending, so click the polygon tool again and we can snap it for the whole thing. And that's just because you had a subdivision and it's kind of interfered. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the last one as well. So append to polygon, click one side and then click the other and then enter. And now you just have a basic chair. And if you really want to, I mean, this is where I'd have to leave it. I'd have to clean a few things up because I won't do that. I'll run that in another tutorial actually. This model won't be good enough. Actually, I will show you. If I click that, the orange bits are the bits that I need to clean up. So if that was to go into a game engine, that wouldn't work. And I'll come on to that in a later tutorial. But if we're just going to work for film, we can actually now start deleting these edges. Oops, that one. Alright, what have we got here? That one's deleted. This one deleted. That one delete, and that one delete. Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh no, I have run through that. Basically, the rate again. I'll keep expressing this. You always have to go to, once you've got your line selected, go to edit mesh, delete edge vertex. That's only if you're deleting edges and vertexes though. And I've just made a shortcut up here for it, which you can do yourself if you wish. And there we go. Now you have your basic chair. So that's how you can sort of manipulate shapes. And you can grab the face tool, grab one, come to the move tool, move that forward. Hold shift and click two of them. Those ones back here. Make the chair back a bit as well. And you can just start adjusting how you want your thing to look. And as I mentioned here, this is your modeling toolkit. So if you really wanted to bevel one edge, so I can grab that and click bevel, that will round it up. And then you get this little box appear. So the fraction is how big you want your edge to be, and then segments is how round it is. So add 3 segments, and that's nicely rounded it off. However, quick tool if you're making games, because I have a lot of people on my channel for film and games, so I'm going to try and address the issue for both, which is kind of why I'm doing it in the tutorial. I would probably only add 2 segments. So a film person might go, oh, that looks quite nice, there's it's nice and smooth. But for a film, you'd only click 2 because you don't want as many polygons. And another tool, which it comes nicely on, grab the line tool, and because you've got very little polygons, it might look a bit hard surfaced. So grab the lines that look a bit hard, come up to mesh display, and then soften the edges. So if I come off that now, that looks really round. So Maya's just giving the impression that it's round, even though it's not. And that's very useful when you come to making smooth edges with low polygons. So let's do it again with this one, just to repeat the step. Click the line. I mean, if you want, you can grab both lines if you want, and then bevel round. Something like that. I want to bring that down actually to about 0.3, so it's not as big. And then we can do 2 segments, just to kind of give it a little bit round, but nothing too much. And I can come and grab these lines, and I'll probably grab the bottom ones as well. Go to mesh display and soften edges. So there you go, it just looks quite round for very little polygons. I've made a little mistake with my here. It's looking a bit weird and not straight. That's because I grabbed these and then moved them. But yeah, I'm going to be addressing modelling in a few extra tutorials. I'm going to do some Let's Models, just so you can see the workflow and see various things and what I can do on how I do it. So basically, another tool, if I just get the multi-cut and I click that and just click enter and just make a subdivision there, there's this tool called Target Weld. And basically, if you think, oh, I don't want that there, but I want this line. So when it comes to cleanup, for example, if I go mesh cleanup and click apply, I can see, oh, I've got a few things I need cleaning up here. Now for this leg, it's more than a 5-sided shape. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We want that to 4. But say I want to still split it. This Target Weld tool, I can grab the point tool, get Target Weld, click this point. There you go. Why isn't it doing it? Target Weld. Click this point, and I can drag it over to this one, and then it snaps it. And what that does is it turns 2 vertexes, or 2 points, into 1. So that's the first benefit. And the second of all, we now have a 4-sided shape. So if I click apply for this cleanup, this one's fine. So that's a good tool if you want to get rid of a vertex. But the whole point of Target Weld is to connect one vertex to another. And if you do this wrong, your your model or mesh can kind of be a bit distorted and whatnot. So it has to be used correctly. But we'll sort of run into that in a few extra tutorials. And again, if you don't know how to get to these tools, it's the modeling toolkit at the top here. I am using Maya 2016 though, so if you're using anything under, I wouldn't be entirely sure because I haven't used them. And then to get little shortcuts up here, you can click Control Shift, and then I don't know, use the extrude, click, and then it appears here. And you've got all this workspace here to fill up, so that's pretty nice. If you want things done quickly, it improves workflow, and trust me, it saves you so much time. And if you want to know everything that you got into your scene, it's this button here. It's called Outliner, or if you hover over, it's Panel Layout. I don't know why it's got 2 names. And basically, where it's got Cube, that is our stuff there. And then you got this CP button here, and that's called Center Pivot, or Anchor Point, for example. So I think, where is it? I'm trying to find it in here. It might be in modify actually. Oh, there it goes. Modify center pivot. That is this tool, the CP. And if you click that, it basically centers this axis for that specific model. And you can come in here, double click, and rename it chair. So basically, that's your object manager. If you're coming from Cinema 4D like I have. So yeah, you've got everything. It's just knowing where it is. And to be honest, I know it looks daunting at first, and I'm really trying with these tutorials to try and show you everything that I know with modelling so far. I mean, it is a bit hard, but I'm going to do it step by step and sort of guide you through as best I can. Even though I'm not an expert myself, it seems a bit weird that I'm doing tutorials, even though I rarely know it myself. But that's sort of what my channel is for. It's for helping beginners, and I'm a beginner myself, so if it helps, that's great. I know it's helping a few people already, so that, for me, that's successful. So yeah, we're going to run into a few more Let's Play videos, Let's Model videos, sorry, in the future. So I will actually show you what ones I've got planned so far for tutorial-wise. I'm going to show you how to use reference images to create models, how to use layers, so how to turn layers on and off, because you don't want your scene to be too clustered. I'm going to show you the cleanup tool, and then I'm going to do a Let's Model in Maya. And by that time, I should have been able to learn stuff like UV mapping, proper texturing, and several other things. So yeah, that should work quite nicely. So there you go, guys. If you want to click off, and then I'll just quickly show you these when modelling. You got all these tools up here. Now, the ones that I usually use is this one. It looks like the Yaush symbol. It says wireframe on shaded, and that basically is a nice, easy way to see your polygons. And I usually keep that on all the time. And you can come up to this one, which kind of turns it 50% opacity, and that's X-ray, which I sometimes like to use to see what it's like underneath, to make sure there's no messy bits. And also this one here, which is screen space ambient occlusion, and that just creates little shadow depths on your model, which I just like the look of, but it's, you don't really need it on. So there you go, have a little play around, get your models sort of looking how you want, and then we'll sort of address more issues as we encounter them in later tutorials. So please like this video, guys, subscribe. If you need it, want any tutorials, just comment, and then if I can help you, then I will try. But yeah, as I said, I am still a beginner, so these tutorials will be kept limited. I'm not going to jump into anything advanced, because these are for beginners. So yeah, please like and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.